Welcome back. Some homes on Manasota Key are in danger of falling into the Gulf of Mexico.
One of the homes belongs to a 90-year-old woman. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley has her story.
Good evening. We've talked many times about the damage from beach erosion here on Manasota Key, but this is the first time we've seen serious proof of it. The structure to this 90-year-old woman's home is almost completely gone.
Discourages me because I may have to move. This is definite structural damage to the pilings that hold the house up.
Betty Gothrop has lived in her Manasota Key home for 23 years. When she and her husband moved in, they had nearly 200 feet of beach.
And now it's up to the house.
Waves from everyday storms like the one we saw today have done all of this damage. The insurance adjusters told Gothrop the structure of the home is nearly compromised. Their next-door neighbor, Charles Miller.
There is no tax dollars at all being spent on our end of the island. All the money goes to Siesta Key.
Miller has been working with Sarasota County to get some relief. So far, he says they've only gotten approval for small sandbag.
The type of sandbag that is approved by the county commissioners are these very, very small bags. Anything larger than that has to be approved by the board.
At this point, these residents all live with great fear about what damage could happen if another powerful storm hits the Suncoast.
I want to spend the rest of my life here, even though I don't expect it to be 10 more years, but I wanted to spend it here, and now I'm not sure I can spend the rest of the summer here.
Residents on Manasota Key are appealing to Sarasota County officials, hoping to get some relief so that homes like this one don't fall into the Gulf. On Manasota Key, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Christopher, thank you. Sarasota County staff refused to speak on camera, but issued a statement saying, quote, the county has met with several concerned property owners in the area and discussed various options to help address their concerns.
The Suncoast is still experiencing the effects of Tropical Storm Colin. The Myakka River remains under a flood warning after the storm. Seasonal rainfall hasn't really helped the issue either. The river at the Myakka State Park is about 8 feet, which means the main road at the park can flood. When the water reaches 7 feet, the trails, picnic areas, and parking lots flood. The Peace River in Arcadia is experiencing severe flooding as well.
State transportation officials will temporarily stop construction on the Coon Key Bridge starting next week. Both westbound lanes as you head out to Lido will be open to traffic starting Monday through the 4th of July holiday. Work will resume then on July 5th, and pedestrians will not be able to use the sidewalk while repairs take place. This project, by the way, is expected to be completed by mid-August. So they're giving us a little break for the 4th of July holiday to get all the people out there and then back again.
That's a great idea because bridges on 4th of July, it seems like, especially wherever there are fireworks and you start to exit and you're just stuck for a long time. So I'm glad they're delaying that work. And Bob, let's take a look at our somewhat rainy weather today.
Yeah, some showers around earlier today. Most of that is over, though. That's the good news. Looks like things are fairly quiet. There's one lone shower just to the west of Venice, but pretty dry now near the Peace River and Horse Creek, as well as the Myakka River at the Myakka State Park. Things are fairly quiet there now, but more showers are in the forecast over the weekend. I mentioned that one lone shower just to the west of Venice now. Not doing a whole lot. There is where our watches are as far as the warnings go, the flood warnings for the Peace River in DeSoto County and also the Myakka River at the Myakka State Park. A rip current advisory is in effect, too, for all the area beaches through this evening and tomorrow as a result of that westerly wind. Rainfall totals were impressive in some areas, elsewhere not as much. 0.3 of an inch near Inglewood and not much at all near Braden, Palmetto, and Parrish. We'll have much more in our forecast for the weekend coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. The family and friends of a fallen Army private from Palmetto are coming together for a final visit. Visitation is taking place tonight at the Westside Funeral Home in Palmetto. Private Zachary Fuller was given a processional escort from Tampa International Airport to Palmetto yesterday. He and 8 others were killed during a training exercise in floodwaters at Fort Hood in Texas. A funeral service will be held tomorrow at 1 p.m. at the Bible Baptist Church.
It has been 1 year now since a gunman shot and killed 9 people inside a Charleston, South Carolina church. After Dylan Roof's arrest the next day, he confessed to those killings, telling investigators he wanted to start a race war. He's now scheduled to stand trial in November. And we're learning more now about the first responders who risked their lives to save others during the shooting rampage at an Orlando nightclub last weekend, while more than 20 victims still remain in the hospital. From the heart-wrenching goodbyes today to the hopeful reunions. A survivor of the Orlando nightclub massacre, one of 20 still hospitalized.
So glad you're alive, man.
Meeting the heroic officer who saved his life.
I don't know if we were being shot at. I heard him screaming in pain, in agony, but just had to pull him out. That was our #1 goal, just to get these people to safety.
As he and his fellow first responders risked their lives, Omar Mateen took the lives of 49 people. In the midst of the terror, texting his wife, saying he loved her, asking whether she'd seen the news. Noor Mateen indicating she didn't know where he was. She and the killer's father now on the no-fly list as the FBI investigates them. Federal authorities, meanwhile, facing questions about whether this tragedy could have been prevented after alarming claims from the owner of this Florida gun store. He says Mateen stopped in 5 to 6 weeks ago wanting to buy bulk ammunition and body armor, including plates like this that can stop armor-piercing bullets. The employees, immediately suspicious, say they refused to sell to him and called the FBI.
Our intuition was correct, and it's very sad that we had him that close. It was that close that law enforcement could have got their hands on him.
The Plaza Live concert venue is opening its doors once again following a fatal shooting. The hall hosted its first performance since the death of Christina Grimmie on Thursday. 22-year-old Grimmie was a contestant on The Voice. Following her performance at the venue on June 10th, she was shot by 27-year-old Kevin Loibel. Security guards are on high alert, searching bags, performing pat-downs, and confiscating any items that could be used as a weapon. There were signs on the doors prohibiting concealed weapons.
How easily it happened before, kind of. It's a little scary.
Police are still examining the shooter's computer, phone, and other personal items in the search for a motive. Walt Disney World will put up alligator warning signs around the waterways in its parks and resorts in Orlando. The move comes days after an alligator dragged a toddler into a lagoon at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort. Search crews combed the water for hours before they finally found the 2-year-old's body on Wednesday. The child was with his family when he wandered near the water. No swimming signs were posted, but no gator warnings were included on those signs.
Suncoast politicians are trying to improve communications with voters using social media. Pew Research Center found in a 2014 study the number of registered voters following political figures on social networking sites more than doubled over a 4-year period. And those numbers continue to rise, particularly in an election year. Campaign experts say platforms such as Facebook and Twitter create more dynamic communication between the candidates and voters.
Anytime you can have the candidate or the elected official speaking directly with the voters, it's a win. And anytime you can have the voters share their thoughts and their comments, it's a win. So social media really facilitates that, and I think it's a win for everyone.
You can find out more about how social media is being used in our local, state, and local races. That's tonight on ABC 7 News at 7. Hosted tonight by Haley.
Yes, join me at 7 o'clock.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, hope after a stroke.
How one local rehabilitation center is helping patients recover.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
Plus, New South windows are made in Florida.
For Florida homes.
By Florida workers. Because we know Florida weather.
Bring your measurements this Saturday from 9 to 4 to get huge discounts. New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
Did you know? When your dog stays at Canine Corral, the play is free? Contact Canine Corral today about boarding and daycare packages. Canine Corral, where the love is.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford because Sarasota Ford guarantees you our lowest price on every new Ford every day. Save on America's best-selling truck, 39 years running, the Ford F-150. Fusions, Escapes, over 800 vehicles on site or online, all on sale. Buy with 0% for 60 months. And now, get up to 2,000 trade assistance. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. Sarasota Ford.com.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Hey, I'm really glad that you're taking a few moments to check out this video about the ministry of First Sarasota Downtown Baptist Church. I'm William Hill, lead pastor here at First Sarasota. For the last 15 years, it's been my privilege to share in the life of this faith community, a community that centers itself around faith, friends, and family. Indeed, it is a ministry that's been in existence right here in this wonderful city for over a century.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
For the first time, there are now guidelines for rehabilitation following a stroke developed by the American Heart Association and the American Stroke Association. ABC 7's Alex Redmond joins us with how this is making a difference for stroke patients. Alex.
That's right, Haley. Many people survive a stroke with some level of disability, and there's increasing evidence that rehabilitation can have a big impact on the survivor's quality of life, and even more so when the rehabilitation is inpatient care.
Right foot by me. Bring it over here.
He stands 6 feet tall, and Rick Martin is relearning
I had a stroke.
to walk.
Doctor told me when I woke up.
His wife Lynn there the whole time.
He just laid there. He couldn't, you could tell he couldn't communicate. He was very emotional.
Unable to walk or even sit on the side of the bed without collapsing, says Lynn Martin.
I couldn't pick him up, move him, so he needed to progress before we could go home. And we didn't want to just ship him to a nursing home yet.
At the beginning of his journey, he wasn't able to stand up. He was scared. He wasn't able to do any physical activities. He was dependent with absolutely everything, simple stuff like getting in and out of bed, rolling in bed. He couldn't do it.
Previous guidelines focused on medical issues involved in the initial management of stroke.
For patients that are not going to come to inpatient rehab, there is a great risk of falls.
Now, the American Stroke Association strongly recommends, whenever possible, that stroke patients be treated at an inpatient rehabilitation facility rather than a skilled nursing facility.
This is 1 week after the stroke. Patient unable to walk by herself.
A short time later.
Walking 15 minutes after the treatment, the same day.
Polivchek says that there's a difference in the outcomes because there's a team of clinicians that specialize in stroke, and therefore people are able to go home much faster.
Yeah, it starts out slow at first, but then it just picks right up before you know it. It's working.
Rick Martin is getting stronger, but had he not had inpatient rehabilitation,
I think he'd still be sitting there in his wheelchair doing nothing. That's what I really think. This has helped him so much.
One thing's for sure.
Yeah, she's stuck with me.
Polivchek explains, although Martin is doing well, he and other stroke patients have to continue their rehabilitation, and that Health South teaches the family to work together to make improvements after the patient leaves. This is now the 8th set of stroke guidelines from the American Stroke Association, completing the association's recommendations for the continuum of care for stroke patients and their families. Back to you, Haley.
Thank you, Alex. That's great to hear. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. There's some backup on the DeSoto Bridge heading northbound. As you can see, there's a stretch of red there on the map, so be aware of that. on your commute as you head out possibly for dinner or something this evening. Now let's head over to Bob to see your dinner forecast.
Yeah, and at least the commute isn't too bad as it was earlier as far as driving goes. The showers have been moving through. The sun goes pretty quickly, though. They've been moving in and out as a result of a little piece of energy and a weak trough of low pressure that has moved in, but now the skies are clear. It was clear last night. Get a look at this. Someone sending this in. It's a flipogram or something to that effect. And Randall Ginn sending me this from Flipogram. And you can see the first pitch at the Marauders game last night. And it was right across the plate to Marty the Marauder. He dropped it, though. He was not used to that, getting it right down the middle, they said. I'm just bragging. It was about a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Maybe 40. Some showers along the East Coast now, pushing off to the east. Had a great time out there at the game last night. And the Marauders won, by the way, so they're still in first place and looks like they're going to make the playoffs. As a result of the rain and moving to the east now, things have calmed down here considerably. That little piece of energy now well to the east and south of us now. Big storms in the Keys and off the coast of Miami. It's cooled things down there, though, with the showers nearby. Still pretty warm here. The heat index at 96 degrees and the humidity 67%, but the dew point is high, 75, and the high today was 90, which is pretty close to the average, and 81, though, unseasonably warm, and that's due to that westerly wind, keeping things very warm overnight and muggy, and that will stay tonight, tomorrow, and then things start to change on Sunday night. We'll start to get cooler back down in the low 70s. Only 0.12 of an inch of rainfall at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport. Our monthly total now, just under 2 inches above average for the month thus far. 76 in Tallahassee. It's 95 in Jacksonville, 89 now in Orlando, and temperatures into the mid-80s near the coast. A little bit warmer as you push inland into the upper 80s there, but no 90s right now. Looking pretty good. Well, here's the futurecast. Tonight, there will be a few showers late tonight. For this evening, though, if you have plans, looks to be pretty good. And then tomorrow morning, it looks like showers will start to pop up again as yet another weak frontal system moves into the Suncoast. So that will stick around on Saturday. Scattered showers, a few thunderstorms, similar to what we saw today. And then looks like the majority of the rainfall inland in the afternoon. Then Saturday night and Sunday, we get another little push of energy from the east to the west. And what that is going to do, it's going to allow us to see those afternoon and evening storms develop because we'll have more of an easterly to northeasterly wind flow in the afternoon. And with a west coast sea breeze developing, showers and storms popping up on Father's Day. Looks like some of that action could be pretty heavy at times in the late afternoon and evening on Father's Day. Well, in the tropics, all is quiet here. This tropical wave continues to move over land, bringing some heavy rainfall there, and a little area of low pressure developing off the Carolina coast. This should cause no concern for us. Temperatures into the mid-80s now in Detroit and Columbus and Indianapolis, Chicago, all right there in the mid-80s. It's hot in Wichita, 97 degrees. Omaha, just 1 degree cooler, and in Dallas, it's 97, 102 in Phoenix, and temperature in Atlanta now has cooled to 73. There's a weak frontal system that's going to keep things a little bit cooler over the southeast over the weekend. As far as the tides go, upcoming, low tide at 7:05, another one at 5:32 tomorrow morning, and sunset at 8:27. As far as boating goes, it looks like seas running 2 to 4 feet tomorrow, so a bit breezy with a west wind at 10 to 15 knots, and the water temperature a warm 86 degrees. The forecast tonight calling for warm and muggy, mostly fair for the most part, and then some showers developing late tonight. Low temperature still very warm. Tomorrow, some unsettled weather, mix of sun and clouds. We'll have scattered showers and a few thunderstorms that could even be along the coast in the morning. West wind at 10 to 15. And the extended forecast does call for drier conditions. Once we get through Sunday, we'll see less of a chance for rain and slightly cooler temperatures. Well, winds and seas will pick up tomorrow for boaters, but it was pretty good weather on Wednesday as we went out into Sarasota Bay to catch some fish. A nice calm day to start the day on the bay. Captain Johnny says the baby ospreys have flown away and probably were doing what we were about to do, catch some fish. Drifting the middle grounds in Sarasota Bay with some shrimp, these Hoosiers were hoping for some lunch. And how fitting as we approach Father's Day that Dad starts things off.
Hey Jacob, guess who caught the first fish?
We were catching these guys along with some jack, and then all of a sudden this happened.
Picture of this.
Yeah, I caught a shark, Jacob. What's up?
These guys put up quite a fight, and you know when you hook one.
I had to take a bite out of him one time. Look at his underside and his top of his head. A bigger shark, I think, tried to bite him.
Mom kept up the pressure, though, with this nice catch herself.
Look at the size of that one.
That's a nice sized trout right there.
Trout. That's the biggest one of the morning.
And son Jacob was also holding his own with this nice keeper. And then this shark catcher hooks up something big.
know.
It wasn't a shark, but a 7-pound sail cat.
They will hurt you. You don't ever want to grab one with your hands. They have a neurotoxin in their fins that really hurts bad.
It was good old Dad who footed the bill who got the catch of the day.
You know what? You never know what you're going to catch out here. Pompano, sharks, trout, everything. Hey, remember to take your kid fishing, because someday they may take you.
Yeah, actually, right at the end there, he says, where'd that pompano go? I left it in there, but apparently we ran out of time there. This Steve Gibson, he used to be a writer for the Sarasota Herald Tribune, outdoor writer. He said he had the best day ever. 23 snook caught and released on the beach. Again, they're all heading to the beaches now. That's where the snook are lining up. They used to hang in the canals and so on, but now that the water's warmed up, that's where they are. And he caught quite a few of those. And snook are out there. Unfortunately, you can't keep them, but you can have fun catching. They are a lot of fun. Breakwater Charters. This kid catching his first snook ever. And the Star Tournament, the Coastal Conservation Association, is still going on. And so you can still sign up for that too, and that's a great tournament to help benefit, and you can become a member of the Coastal Conservation Association and possibly win some big prizes if you catch a tag snook. All right, I mean a redfish.
Redfish.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. Well, plans to build a Bass Pro Shop in Sarasota have been canceled. The store was set to be built in a new shopping center called Fruitville Commons on the northeast corner of I-75 in Fruitville. Bass Pro Shops terminated the contract to buy that property. There was never a confirmed opening date, and no word on who will take over as an anchor store for that proposed shopping plaza.
Firearm manufacturer Smith & Wesson says it's selling more guns than ever before. The gun maker says quarterly firearm sales rose more than 22% from the same period last year. The report was based on sales through April 30th, more than a month before Sunday's mass shooting at an Orlando nightclub. Smith & Wesson says it expects robust sales to continue for the rest of the fiscal year. Historically, gun manufacturers see demand rise in the wake of such violent incidents as pro-gun consumers fear that new laws will restrict access.
In the wake of Sunday's massacre at a gay nightclub in Orlando, Uber is now offering free rides to and from places of importance to the LGBT community this weekend. Uber has already been giving unlimited free rides to the families of victims and survivors of the shooting. Every passenger will get 2 free rides to select community centers, museums, parks, bars, and nightclubs. The locations are in Uber's 40 top markets in the U.S. and Canada, and the discount runs through Monday night.
A lot of companies stepping in.
Yeah.
Entertainment news is next.
At SWC Properties, we pride ourselves on providing to you the very best in customer satisfaction. To list your home with SWC, give us a call, and don't forget to watch the House to Home show every Saturday night here on ABC 7. It's simple. We just market your home better.
If you have a suspicion for harboring prostate cancer, we have a way of diagnosing by using an exquisite instrument called 3-dimensional color flow power Doppler ultrasound. Using this system, we can identify abnormalities within the prostate that you could otherwise never detect. The Dottoli Cancer Center is the only center in the southeastern United States which has this technology. If you have prostate cancer, we will find it.
The ability to go to college on a Bright Future Scholarship gave me personally the flexibility to chase a dream. To not have to worry about paying for your college education was absolutely amazing. One step better than that was to leave with no loans. I mean, to start a life, to start a job, to start without having a debt was amazing, and it allowed me to get to where I'm at today.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Florida Studio Theater presents the fabulous Lipitones, now held over by popular demand. A high note leaves the Barbershop Quartet without their 4th member just before the national competition. What ensues is a comedy of misunderstanding, stereotypes, and the path to perfect harmony that critics say has laughs galore and gets right to the heart. Buy tickets now by calling 941-366-9000 or visit floridastudiotheater.org.
Sometimes, when the course is difficult and you might take a step where you could fall, it's important to trust and ask for help. That's one of the most important things we learned at Tidewell's Teen Grief Retreat. On your grief journey, there are going to be difficult parts, but you have to trust in yourself and your support systems and know there are people around who will help you make it through. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
One of The View's most recent additions is already leaving the show.
Comedian Michelle Collins is leaving The View after just one season. The show's producer made the announcement yesterday. Collins confirmed it herself by joking on Instagram that she is now part of the One-Seasoner Club. After making several guest appearances, she signed on as a permanent co-host last July.
Hamilton star and creator Lin-Manuel Miranda has set a date for his departure from the Tony Award-winning musical. He's officially stepping down from the role of Alexander Hamilton on July 9th. Miranda told reporters that he plans to return to the cast from time to time, but didn't provide specifics. Hamilton has won a Grammy and a Pulitzer Prize and picked up 11 Tony Awards this year.
There are already plenty of viewing options at the box office, and now you can add 2 more to the mix. ABC 7 media critic Daniel Feingold has a preview of what's new to theaters this weekend.
Somewhere out there is my family. I can't find them on my own. Hang on, Dory!
Surf's up, dude!
Finding Dory is ready to dominate the weekend box office. The sequel to 2003's beloved Finding Nemo is getting terrific reviews, and with Pixar's widest release ever, including thousands of theaters showing it in 3D, analysts say The Fish Tale will easily top $100 million in its weekend debut.
You should know one thing about me. I'm in the CIA.
Are you joking with me right now? That doesn't mean the weekend's other new wide release, Central Intelligence, will crash and burn. Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson, do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Team up for the action comedy, which is getting good reviews. Box office watchers are predicting a healthy $30 million opening weekend. Daniel Feingold, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Daniel. And playing at Burns Court Cinema in Sarasota is the drama Genius, featuring a star-studded cast including Colin Firth, Jude Law, Nicole Kidman, Laura Linney, and Guy Pearce. It delves into the professional relationship of Maxwell Perkins, who was a highly regarded book editor in the 20th century, and Thomas Wolfe, a novelist who was highly regarded in his own respects. Genius is rated PG-13, and again, it's now playing at Burns Court Theater in Sarasota.
It's a great cast.
Really good. Yeah.
Looks like a good one. We'll be right back.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
We've been slow smoking over oak for more than 45 years. And while sticking to tried and true traditions is kind of our thing, it doesn't hurt to throw something new in the smoker every now and then. Come get some slow smoked chicken wings at Sonny's Barbecue. Order them as an appetizer or as part of a combo with pork, baby back ribs, or both, starting at $10.99. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.